Today I fucked up and now I owe thousands of dollars. This actually happened today. I am a broke college student. I have been trying to get a job since the last one I had was unexpectedly closed because a client pulled their contract. So, I applied for jobs on Indeed and Glassdoor, mostly data entry and administrative assistant ones. I was contacted by a person who said that they have a job opening for me as a personal assistant based on my resume on Indeed. They told me that the job was buying groceries, sending emails and booking hotel rooms. I accepted and was given a task to find out about some hotels downtown. After a week, I sent the information on the hotels to the guy, who then asked for my bank account information. He then deposited a check into one of my accounts and asked me to send out some money orders. Me, being a dumbass, agreed to do so. This was on Friday. This morning, I found out that the check had bounced and I was in the hole for a little over $6,000. I have contacted the bank and they said my account is frozen and will be closed in 30 days. Also talked to the police and gave them the guy's phone number, company name, account info for the money orders, and the receipts for the money orders. Too long didn't read. I lost all my money and owe more because I was desperate. I'm so sorry. Me too. For future references, this is called a check fraud. Very common. Hell, someone at my university tried pulling this shit. Sent out a mass email saying the same thing, offering $200 a week for 10 hours a week of doing simple shit. It's 2019, why would anyone still use checks? I know that being jobless creates some desperation, but this is one of the oldest scams in the book. My sister's ex fell for one of these when he was desperate for money in college. He ended up owing $15,000 from the scam. It really sucks. Hey, have you considered reaching out to Indeed? If you frame it right, they might be able to help you. It's at the very minimum worth a shot. So letting them know will help them take down the ad so others aren't scammed. If you'd like, I'm happy to help you edit up a draft to Indeed. Just PM me your draft and I can read and make suggestions. Today I fucked up by asking my boss why he didn't love me. So in context, I'm in the UK and I have been put on furlough, meaning not working at the moment. My company hasn't really been in touch much, just left me to it, so before all this I asked if I could get called more. Fast forward to today. My mother calls and I get this horrendous loop back. You know, the kind where you can hear your own voice. So I ask her to call me back. A few moments go by, no call. So I text her, "Why don't you love me?" My phone goes off and I think it's her and shout, "Why don't you love me?" on speakerphone. I get a high up at my boss. OHHH goad. I just laugh and say I'm so sorry and he's like, "That's fine, glad to hear you in good spirits," and continues the conversation like nothing happened whilst I'm dying on the other end. So embarrassing. I tell my mother when she does call back and she's like, "Wait until your father hears about this. I'm never going to live this down now." TL, doctor. I screamed down the phone at my boss asking why he didn't love me because though it was my mum who called. Plot twist, Mary's boss. But I do love you. This is like the adult version of calling your teacher mom in grade school. One time I got a call from a good friend of mine, who I regularly insult as a display of affection. So I answered the phone with "Hello stupid face," only to find out he left his phone at his tattoo guy's place after a session, and the tattoo guy was calling me to let me know. Not my finest moment. My boss texted her immediate boss asking if he needs a cuddle. Was meant for the hobby. Ha ha ha. Did that once to boss on text. "Love you babe." Shouted immediately, "Don't read that." Boring laughter followed. Today I fucked up by holding in my sneeze. Yesterday was a shit show. The first half of my day was perfectly normal. Just the usual, doing some paperwork, faxing some random shit to my friend on the bottom floor. At lunch I was eating when I went like brain dead for half a second and I lifted my hand up too fast and hit my nose with an uppercut, Mortal Kombat style. I felt like my nose was bleeding, but I dismissed it as my nose running since I have a cold. So I went on my way back to work sniffing the whole time. My boss had asked me to pick him up lunch and even gave me the money for it as he was very busy. I felt a little sneeze sensation up in my nose, but I tried to hold it in because my boss is waiting for me. Walk into his office, Give him his hamburger, and this point my body can't hold it. Q3 very bloody and harsh sneezes all over my boss's white shirt, paperwork, and hamburger. The way he looked at me was kinda half funny, half wanting to demolish me. Living crazy, yeah? You should probably go home for the day. Fortunately I wasn't fired, but unfortunately I had to redo his paperwork, and buy him a new burger. I feel like a dumbass, but he seems to have found it a little funny, so I don't really feel as bad. Too long didn't read, I sneezed blood all over my boss's shit and had to renew all of it. This is how a pandemic starts in the movies. I'm laughing so hard right now at the image of blood spraying out of your nose 3 times like a shotgun blast. Edit, thank you for the silver 3. Jesus, man, catch that sneeze. Your boss was asking you if you were doing cocaine and you said yes. Yeah, that's what I took away from this lol. You didn't even try to block the sneezes? Turn away from your boss? Anything? Dude, that's just flat out nasty. I totally understand those sneaky sneezes just pouncing on you like a ninja, but just how rapid fire are your sneezes that at least 2 of them couldn't have been caught? You just normally go around blasting sneezes directly at other people? Honestly, right? I find that shit so damn nasty. Like, how hard is it to either sneeze/cough in your shirt or into your arm? That's how people spread stuff.